Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a story time while I do my makeup. Disclaimer, I am not a professional makeup artist. I do this in my free time. I just recently learned how to do my makeup, maybe like a year and some change ago. So I'm really new to learning all the techniques and ways to do my makeup flawlessly. So no judgment. If you're new here, welcome. If you've already been here, thanks for coming back. But without further ado, let's get started. All the products I use will be down below in the description. So let's get started. So about this story time. So before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a mom of 3 boys, currently expecting my 4th little boy. If you haven't watched our gender reveal video, go give that a watch. And I wanted to answer a few questions that have been asked before I get into this story time. So I get asked about how many kids I have. I have 3 boys. They are my world, and they are 11, 6, and 5. Another question I get a lot is, are they twins? Bryce and Brennan are not twins. They are 14 months apart, which in other words, people call them Irish twins. And what do we do for a living? My husband works in IT and he contracts a lot, so he's constantly really overseas often. And I create content. This is what I do, and this is what I've loved doing. I just started about a year ago, so I'm curious to see where it takes us. But let's get into the story time. So this story took place about 4 years ago as of yesterday. And it's a story that I enjoy telling just to help other moms who have gone through this or have dealt with something like this alone. As many of you may not know, Brennan had open heart surgery at just a year old, and it was due to a hole in a broken murmur. It's like one of the most hardest times I've ever had to encounter as a mom. I keep looking at myself instead of at the camera, so if it looks like I'm cockeyed, I'm not. I just like looking at myself, but we're gonna work on that. So when Brennan was born, he was born with this heart defect that many people have, which is just a heart murmur, which is a hole in your heart. And sometimes people live with them their entire lives and it never affects them. But in Brennan's case, it was more than just that. So at about 6 months old, I took him in for an appointment. His appointment got scheduled. Mind you guys, I'm missing a part. We lived in Europe at the time. I am an ex-military wife. My husband's no longer in the service. And we were away from family. We didn't have a support system. It's just my husband and our 3 kids. So it was really hard on us to it was really hard on me to function through this whole process, because at the time my husband was away back home in Georgia going through school for AIT. I keep looking at myself and not at the camera. So during this time, I was by myself in Belgium when I was taking my son to these appointments. And the first appointment got canceled, and I advocated for myself. I'm like, we're not doing this. He needs to see a doctor today. I don't know what y'all gotta do, but I'm not gonna continue to drive 30 minutes for y'all to tell me my appointment is canceled and this has something to do with my son's heart. So we ended up seeing a doctor that did not speak an ounce of English. And he looked at his heart and he immediately got up and left the room. He didn't say anything. He went to get a liaison, and they came back and basically was like, we need you to go to the Children's Hospital in Brussels. At the time, we lived in a small little country town called Ott, and our appointments were in Mons. So Children's Hospital was like an hour, maybe hour 15 from where we were living at the time. So I had to load up 3 kids and take him to this appointment by myself, okay? Because again, my husband was not in the country at the time. So I took all 3 kids to the hospital. They looked at his heart and was like, you know what? We want to get a better look at what is going on. So let's go ahead and schedule for you to come in, put him to sleep, and let's get a better look. We're gonna put a camera in him and we're gonna get a better, deeper look at him. I'm gonna insert a few clips that I still have from that hospital visit when I took him in to get the camera inserted into his heart.
Say hi.
Is it funny? Yes, it's mommy. You see my face? Yes. So once I went to that appointment, so at that appointment, I had to leave my kids with people that I kind of had a relationship with and entrusted with my other two kids while I tend to Benny, which was really kind of hard because, again, I was doing it by myself with no help from family because I was there all alone. At this appointment, I was told that Brenda needed to come back within a week or two to have open heart surgery. I couldn't come back home to the States because my TRICARE would not cover it. It only covered us in Europe. If I were to go home, then I would have to come out of pocket. So I was like really torn. I wanted to be home with my family who could assist me with my other kids, but I also didn't have the funds or the means to pay for this type of surgery out of pocket. So I told my husband's chain of command. My husband got to graduate from AIT early and flew in the day before surgery. I'm gonna insert a couple of more clips of the day before leading up to surgery and leading up to the actual moment he was sent back for surgery. And just watch.
It's almost surgery time.
Danny, say hello. Did you sleep good? Yeah. Yeah. No, me neither. We got up early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give a big kiss to mommy.
Give me kisses.
Okay. And a huge kiss to daddy.
The surgery took about 6 hours and some change, and we kind of just walked around the city and got some lunch and just really hung out with one another because we didn't know what else to do. We were trying to keep our minds busy because, again, this is like a major surgery for just a 1-year-old. At the time, we also still didn't have much help even from his chain of command, and again, we were a one-income family. And if you know, the military doesn't pay you anything. I keep looking at myself. The military doesn't pay you anything. They pay you enough to survive, and that's about it. So we started a GoFundMe to raise some money because, again, we were driving an hour and some change to and from the hospital, as well as eating out every single meal because most hospitals only take care of their patients and not patients in their families. We really just had to deal with what we had, and thankfully we had a lot of friends and family come together and support us and love us and help us get through such a tough time because, again, this was hard. So 6 hours goes by and we're finally able to go into the ICU and reunite with our sweet Benny, and I'll insert some more clips here. This was like super hard on not just myself but as my husband as well because, like, this is so crazy. We've never had to deal with something like this, and it's our baby. Like, y'all, we were so broken. I remember waking up one night while we were in the ICU. I think it was like the second night, and I couldn't find my husband, and he actually had went into like the waiting room area and was just like, sorry to blast you, babe, but just having a really hard time trying to grasp like what's really going on because the night before they had him strapped down so that he wouldn't pull on stuff, but the night before he like flatlined and we thought something was seriously wrong, but a cord just came undone, which really just sent us in like a frenzy and like a spiral, because what the heck was that? And I just spent so much time blending this out. Benny ended up recovering so beautifully, and he ended up getting better really, really quickly. And my dad so happened to fly in the day we were getting discharged from the hospital, which was such a lifesaver and heaven sent, because we finally were able to catch up on some sleep. We were able to take our kids to the first day of school. So it was really like a very hard time, but we're thankful that we had so much support from our family, because again, we had nobody in Belgium. Like, we had people that we considered our friends, but true colors were shown, and it just wasn't the best situation for us and our family. Overall, we're just grateful and thankful that Benny is healed and healthy, happy, energetic little boy. Thankfully, all of his latest appointments have been amazing, and he has checked out. He's just perfect. Like, he was perfect before, but his little body is doing so well and has just recovered. Sorry, my mirror's over here, so if you see me look this way, I'm trying to look in the mirror because I can't see myself. I need to get like a little mirror for like when I'm recording. He has recovered so well. His little scar looks so good. And we always just tell him, like, you're super Benny, and you just have different kind of superpowers now than you had before. So a little more information on what was wrong with his heart and how they explained it to us. And side note, I don't do nothing to my eyebrows other than like brow gel, which is just this edge gel. It's like the only thing that holds my eyebrows down. Is usually what I do, because I have really thick eyebrows, and then I just shape them with some concealer, which I did not do, and I normally do that step before I do anything else. So let's actually do that really quick. But I'm gonna do that off camera, so I'll be right back. I don't know if y'all can hear them, but they are so loud. So back to where I was at. So I don't even know where I was at. So back to what I was saying about a little more information on what really was going on with his heart. So it started off as like a little heart murmur, which is just a little small hole in the heart, and it ended up becoming a larger hole, as well as your heart has two valves, and there's one valve that pushes blood in while the other one pushes blood out, and it's supposed to function together. But his valve broke, so blood was going in, but blood was only like trickling out. So his heart was getting very enlarged, which caused him to become very, very grumpy and a crybaby, which was all due to him not getting enough blood flow and his heart being enlarged and his body working in like overtime, trying to pump all this blood through to help his little body function, which is really hard. Like, if you think about it, like, you need your heart to do anything, like to survive. So his little heart was pumping and going in overtime to provide his body with the blood flow it needed, but his valve was broken, and due to them canceling an appointment, me having to reschedule, then canceling that one, if I didn't advocate for him, I don't know where our situation would have ended up. So always advocate for your babies, always speak up. Doesn't matter if there's a language barrier. Cleaning up my mess. Doesn't matter if there's a language barrier, always be a voice for your kids, especially if you're military. Like, nobody listens to us as spouses, so make them listen to you. Be your child's voice. I don't know how many times I can say that, but like, be their voice, especially somebody that can't defend themselves or speak up for themselves or tell you how they feel. You be that vessel for them. So We ended up having such a great team of people who took care of him before and after care while we were in the hospital, and oh my gosh, love them. If I ever had to do it again, I would choose the exact same team because they knew exactly what they were doing. I have no idea what my kids are doing out there, but their dad's out there with them. Okay. Yeah, his team was amazing. They were very understanding, gentle, and just overall lovely. Like, great team. Honestly, all the medical care that I ever had to experience, from giving birth to Bryce and Benny over there to having to deal with Benny's heart surgery, everybody was fantastic. They were just amazing, understanding, willing to try to understand you. I'm just grateful that it's over and done with, and that I don't ever have to deal with it again, because as easy as it went, it was very mentally draining and traumatic. You guys, I really suck at multitasking, and trying to look in here and do my makeup is so hard. So I'm gonna look in the mirror, but I'm still gonna be talking to you guys. But yeah, so I'm just so thankful that I did end up staying in Belgium to do the surgery and not trying to pay out of pocket, because honestly, American healthcare sucks. That's like the nicest way I can put it. It really sucks, especially being somebody who has experienced giving birth there and dealing with surgery there versus giving birth and dealing with surgery in the US. I've dealt with both sides. I would pay whatever the price tag is to go over there and have whatever medical procedure I need done in Europe, because in America, nope, I just couldn't do it. So my kids do have birth abroads. They do have dual citizenship. We're actually encouraging both of them to we're actually going to encourage both of them to take French in high school and middle school, so that once they graduate, if they decide that they're going to go to college, they can go to college over there and get a way better education and just experience life in a different way. But that's pretty much the story. Great overall hospital care, and I'm just happy that Benny is doing so well. I am just paranoid, like he wants to play football and I'm like, nah bro, not happening. We'll do baseball and basketball, but everybody around me is like, he's good, like let him play. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. Y'all, I don't know how this is gonna look on camera, but it looks crazy right now. So now I'm gonna just dust off this powder, because it got me looking real ghosty. And then I don't know the order of makeup, if people do it in an order, but this is my order and this is what works for me and my skin. And y'all, I swear by Rihanna products, because I have very dry, sensitive skin, and she's the only thing that hasn't like broke me out or made me like feel heavy, if that makes sense. For my eyes, I do like this weird bronzer palette that I got. God knows how long ago that was. But, oh, y'all, I'm all over the place. I can't multitask. I've probably said that before, but I really cannot multitask. That is not something I was blessed with. Another thing about Brendan's surgery though, they kicked him out of the hospital after like 2 days, because homeboy was like recovered back to his normal self within like 2 days. They had like this little remote controlled car that all the kids got to ride on when they were like off the monitors and stuff. And homeboy was like going into other people's rooms. He was going behind like the little nurse's station. I'm gonna insert some of this because it's cute. But they were like, yeah, we're gonna take you out of the ICU. We'll let you stay in one of the recovery rooms for another day, but then y'all can go because clearly he's good. Y'all can go. So that's what we did. We ended up leaving after like 2 days being in the hospital, or after 2 days being in the ICU. I want to say like 2 or 3. I can't remember. Homeboy was good. They literally kicked us out, which is fine because again, he was straight. I think it's so funny. Everybody thought it was funny, honestly. And yeah, he's my little surgery baby. But we love him and he is just as perfect as he can be. I'm honestly, as bad as I'm like, oh, I just wanted a little girl, a little baby, I am really thankful that I'm having another boy. Like, I don't know, boy mom life is just it. I love it. And I don't have to share my me days because they can stay to me. I don't have to take nobody to get their nails. I don't have to share my spa days, my nail days, my Target runs with no one. I'm okay. I'm good here. I'm good here because all they want to do is go play sports. So go. You can go with your dad. But ooh, that's pretty much it with the story of Benny and his heart surgery. None of my other kids have had to have surgery, so thankful for that. Now I'm just gonna finish my makeup and be quiet because I don't know what else to talk about. I probably should have did blush before I did highlight, but whatever. I do have some eyelashes I wanted to put on, but I don't know where my eyelash glue is. So this look isn't gonna be a finished look. Or whatever. Which is kind of bummish. So I'm gonna use this little crappy eyeliner. This crappy mascara that I have that I absolutely hate. I'm gonna use that. Setting powder. Oh, that did not even go nowhere near my face. I'm gonna use this eyelashes to dry my face. Woo! I just went to do my makeup while I took the store because how awkward is it to just sit in front of the camera and talk to yourself. So, and all my lip gloss is downstairs in my purse. I'm not going down there. Cheap mascara. Let me finish putting my mascara on. That's the finished look. I'm actually gonna go get Brennan and see what he thinks of my makeup look and see if he wants to add any of his own little comments about his heart surgery. And yeah, so let me go get him. I'll be right back. Okay, I went and got Brennan. What do you think of my makeup? Do you like it? Does it look good? My face.
Your makeup looks a little bit, your makeup is like a little bit ugly. and
Okay, so I was telling them about your heart surgery. What do you think about it? Do you remember anything?
I want to go to the doctor and tell them to take my heart, a battery from out my heart.
You don't have a battery in your heart.
That that?
Because it's like once they fixed your heart, you just got a lot of energy. So it was like they put a battery in your heart.
It's not no energy.
You do have energy. So do you want to say anything about your heart?
No.
He wants to go play his video games. So.
Bye-bye.
Deuces. Thank you guys for staying if you stayed this far. Thanks for watching. Bye.